Hi there. I wanted to give an update on this complicated time and this work I've been doing in philosophy and physics and my attempt to get into quantum computing. Sort of my plan right now. And annoying update is that I made a misstep on my left foot and I kind of sprained it, and I have a small fracture in my foot. So it's hurting a bit, and been trying to figure out how to take care of it, and got a boot to wear for when I go out walking, and talking to my uncle who's a doctor. It's going to be about a month to fully heal. So that's annoying. All right, as far as the philosophy stuff, continuing with Henri Bergson, Matter and Memory. We're meeting once a week. With Pedro Brea and Garrett Bredesen from CU Boulder. So we're working through chapter 2. We're going to discuss chapter 2, and then we're going to try to finish it up within a couple weeks. And I've been trying hard to understand this, and it's pretty fascinating, and definitely it's giving a sort of answer to the mind-body problem, and there's a lot of complexity around his answer to consciousness and what time is. Time seems to be a big part of it. Still working with Gendlin and with Rob Parker, and trying to understand these books. Gendlin also has a different picture of time. It's a little annoying. I wish that Gendlin would have engaged with Bergson's work. I think there's some similarities in how they treat time. Then we have also the Alfred North Whitehead, still working with, reading a little bit of that, trying to get an understanding of that, looking at secondary materials. Let's see. I have this one, Michael Epperson, Elias Safiris, Foundations of Relational Realism, where he's trying to give they're trying to give a big picture on an ontology that includes quantum mechanics. And I mean, this is the sort of exciting thing that I've been understanding, is to try to combine these two problems together. I mean, I used to think that was a little bit of a crackpotish thing to do, to combine consciousness and quantum mechanics, but now I'm seeing there's a fair number of people following that path. And so it's basically trying to solve both of these problems at the same time. The hard problem of consciousness, which is how does consciousness fit in when you kind of come at it from a materialist perspective. Bergson's framing, again, is that you're trying to find a middle ground between materialism and idealism. And his answer involves time and duration and memory. And that somehow by allowing consciousness, experience, spirit, all this world of our interior to kind of exist in the time dimension by having memory. I mean, I think it's a dualist perspective where, I mean, honestly, I'm still a little confused on what it really says. It is trying to say that it doesn't have extension. I think you don't want to think about experience as being like a field in space. And I think if you have pain in your toe, or you have a headache, or you have a emotion in your chest area, or sensations, vision, all of these, hearing, all of that stuff that we want to take into account, I think Bergson's saying it exists where it exists in the world, but the experiencing aspect of it comes through memory, through the time dimension. And then there's some kind of a little bit more complex description of time that is similar to how Gendlin talks about it with his, in this chapter 4, The Body in Time, and he has, trying to find this theta he draws, with the time in the present kind of implying the future and schematizing the past, and kind of, so anyway, that's the sort of picture that's emerging. Epperson and Zephyrus, they're sort of saying they're moving in the same direction with process philosophy, using Whitehead's approach, Whitehead's ontology, and they're doing category theory and combining that with topology, and kind of talking about the relationship of whole and part, and so that's giving a mathematical framework. I'm still not quite seeing the whole picture here. I still have more of Milik Čapek's book to read. He talks about space, matter, time. He's kind of the classical physics concepts, and then he goes into what has been learned with modern physics and how these concepts are being reconceptualized. And I understand he kind of heads towards this process philosophy ontology picture. At the same time, I'm trying to do some physics. We've got Maudlin giving some framework for quantum mechanics, and then spin is another one. I've been hoping to talk. I have a weekly call with some of the high energy spin people. I'm trying to keep working with that. I have an ongoing project about Gaussian Wigner functions. We're trying to finish a paper on that. Along the same process philosophy thing, there was also Tim Eastman's book. A lot of that I learned from Matt Segal, who pulled some of these people together and has all sorts of good lectures on Whitehead's philosophy. And then finally, I've got this book on quantum computing, which I'm reading some of, understanding that we basically have Shor's algorithm, and what is the other one? There's another main algorithm. There's Shor's algorithm, and there is, I'm forgetting it at the moment. Oh well. Kind of hard to do both these things at the same time, and I need to probably get back a bit more to the quantum computing, because I'm looking into companies in the Colorado and universities and trying to see if there's a way I could get a technical job in quantum computing. And so this philosophy stuff is really cool, is motivating. I don't know if people will take me seriously, and I don't know if I'm likely to be able to get a job doing that. So my approach previously has been to do technical work. I've worked on particle accelerators for 20 years, and while I did that, I did read some philosophy, and I've done painting, and that's been a kind of co-interest. My hope is that the two areas can work together, and that I could be a paid scientist, paid programmer, while putting in sort of a certain amount of my time to keep pursuing this philosophical direction. So, that's where I'm at. It's a complicated time in the world. This political stuff is really difficult. What's going on with Israel and Gaza is very difficult. I've kind of been ignoring it. It's harder and harder to ignore, and it's looking very bad what Israel is doing, and kind of wanted to ignore that. And I'm trying to learn about it and be helpful in some way, and I've been going to a Reform temple, and the rabbi's been speaking, finding a balanced perspective on this, how to still be proud of being a Jew and in fact use Jewish values to criticize Israel. And I feel the same way about, I like to see Christians who are using Christian values and philosophy and theology, whatever, to work for justice and criticize what the government here is turning into. And I do believe in that, and finding common ground between the religions. John Vervaeke has been talking about how Neoplatonism is a common ground, and between for spirituality and for the different religions. And so that is kind of coming together. I mean, it's sometimes a little bigger than I can manage, and I get a little disturbed that none of this will come together. But I'm hoping it's not infinite. I'm hoping this effort to kind of find both a practical life and pursue some philosophical and spiritual directions could come together. So that's where I'm at.